here's Brody Brazil.
Well, first off, congratulations to the Arizona Coyotes. Last night, they took a huge step forward in securing a brand new home, what would likely be their forever home in the city of Tempe. It's been a difficult existence for this franchise, right? They've already moved several times, started in Phoenix, then moved out to Glendale more than a decade ago. Things didn't work out there. I'll detail that in just a second. But now with so many things going on and currently in a temporary, tiny home, looks like they're going to secure something big, bold, and beautiful for the city of Tempe. Now, I'm covering this. I'm making a video on this for a couple different reasons. Like, number one, the NHL. They greatly stepped in. They greatly showed their support last night. They showed up to the city council meeting in Tempe where this was voted on. And so number two, you obviously know I'm a hockey guy. Of course, I love the Desert Dogs. I have a special place in my heart for them, but I'm also a baseball guy. And the Oakland A's right now are going through their own ballpark saga. And we've seen how fast this process has gone with the Coyotes and the NHL and Tempe to get a brand new project approved. It's going quite slower compared to what the Oakland A's are dealing with right now. The city of Oakland, the county of Alameda, several other government entities. Anyway, so I have some parallels. I've got some things to look at. This project versus the A's project, so we'll get into that in just a second. And last but not least, I'm just interested in the future of hockey in Arizona. I do think it's a good market, and I'm glad the NHL has decided to be patient and give this team some time, and it looks like it's going to work out. Because the backstory goes like this. The Coyotes were essentially evicted from Glendale. Now, I'm not putting all the blame on Glendale. It does sound like there was some conflict both ways, like maybe the team wasn't paying all their bills on time, but Glendale was the landlord, the team was the tenant, and it was a bad relationship for many years. But Glendale literally said, hey, at the end of this past hockey season, you guys are done. You're not welcome here anymore. So they had nowhere to go. The Coyotes partnered up with Arizona State University, who just so happened to be building a brand new barn for their hockey team called Mullet Arena. I kid you not. No, not for the hair, but for the Mullet family, who was one of the biggest donors to make it happen. The thing is, though, it seats 5,500 people, and it's got a bunch of cool amenities for a college hockey arena, but it's not like NHL size, full NHL caliber. But the league said, hey, this can be your temporary home for a couple years, 2 to 3 years, until hopefully Tempe works out. It turns out, it looks like that's going to happen. They'll eventually have a vote coming up in May. But last night, they had this vote to get to the referendum vote, right? The city council had to vote on it. And the biggest shock factor to me in all of this is not that it was approved. It's that Gary Bettman and Bill Daley of the NHL, the two top people in the league, the commissioner and the deputy commissioner, showed up to the city council meeting. Let me pause for just a second. Go back to the Oakland A's situation. Would this be possible that Major League Baseball could show this same kind of influence for the A's and Howard Terminal and that project? Now, the Coyotes were at a point here where this was kind of a binding vote to take a public referendum vote. Like, this was a major one, and they moved quickly on this to already get to this point. I love the fact that the league showed up in person to support one of their teams. We've not seen this yet with the A's and Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred. We've not seen this with the city of Oakland and the county of Alameda. Now, maybe there's time. Maybe they feel like they're saving that for the right occasion. But I got to tell you, for all the things that Gary Bettman has ever been criticized for or disliked for, whatever, opinions, right? We're talking about opinions. This is pretty impressive, right? This is tactical. This is personal. This is on a human level. He showed up, answered questions, talked to the media, promised, an all-star game, promised a draft. I mean, we're going to bring things to this project, and we're also going to make a 30-year commitment with this team in Tempe. I was impressed by this. There's no two ways around it, and I wonder if Major League Baseball, like I said, will do the same thing. Going back to the project, now there's a lot of similarities between this hockey arena and the baseball stadium that the A's want to build. The hockey arena in Tempe, $2.1 billion project as of right now. Who knows what it's going to cost in 2 to 3 years. The current site is actually a landfill. There's 1.5 million tons of trash that's going to be removed for the cost of $75 million. So they're calling it From Landfill to Landmark. That's kind of the motto of this project. 16,000 plus seat arena is what they're going to build. They're also going to have the Coyotes practice facility there, restaurant row, a retail center, 2 hotels, private medical office, up to almost 2,000 residential units. Oh, what does that sound like? In Oakland, Howard Terminal, they want to build 3,000 residential units and a 3,500 person seat theater. The Howard Terminal project has that too. I mean, literally, when you look at this, the exact figures and metrics are just a little bit different here and there. It's just not identical, but it's pretty much the same thing. Different plot of land. It's not on the bay. It's not, downtown Phoenix, but it's in Tempe, and it has faced some objection. The airport, right? Sky Harbor Airport had some concerns about where this was on the landing approach for the runways, and would it be an obstruction or a distraction? But overall, this project has really been streamlined with the City of Tempe. Total project costs, again, $2.1 billion, but you break that down into $1.9 billion for the arena, the headquarters, the practice facility, the theater, the retail, hotel, residential, and offices. Okay, but here's the sticking point right now, going back to the A's and Howard Terminal. Infrastructure. What does infrastructure cost? The roads, the sewers, the lighting, the access, the ingress, the egress. Estimated at $209 million, but not to exceed $229 million. So I'm wondering here who pays the overage if they do go over. But that's $229 million of public money. City of Tempe is like, we don't need bonds. We're good on this. Now, I'm not suggesting that Oakland do this too. Okay, I'm just spelling out what Tempe's doing here. They're ponying up the money to get this done. And again, that's probably one of the reasons this is streamlined. Oakland has gone the process of this. First off, their infrastructure costs are greater because of the location and the situation, but they're going with state and federal grants to secure that money from other places. They're getting free money versus Tempe, who's going to shell this out with taxpayer money, just to be clear. All right, we'll move on. But just to show you that infrastructure money is always an issue with these projects. They're going to have a vote May 16th, 2023. The council already approved this public referendum vote, meaning that the council said, public, it's in your hands on May 16th. So what do you think is going to happen in the next 5+ months? The Coyotes are going to go out in Tempe, pitch, sell, and, going to have to put a good stamp on this project to get the vote that they need. May 16th is going to be a huge day for the league, for Tempe, and for Arizona. The hockey team and the state, by the way. And yeah, going back to the landfill, it's amazing. They're taking a landfill and turning it into a landmark, and they're removing all those tons of trash. 1.5 million tons, did I say? Million tons of trash for $75 million. Okay, let's go back, though, to, again, the league showing up, Coyotes ownership showing up. I can't say I'm a insider on this, but apparently the Coyotes ownership does not always, this is the owner, does not always show up, does not always make these public comments or appearances. But he did last night. Gary Bettman did last night. Shane Doan, former Coyotes captain and player, was there. So I want to show you a little bit of this coverage from the NBC affiliate in Phoenix.
I've been asked about things that, do I own an island in Spain? No. Am I showing the tournament in the Houston Rockets? No.
Oh.
I would love nothing more than to stay here. We're committed to making a difference and helping the city.
There's strong ownership in place now. There's a vision and a plan going forward. I believe they're prepared to sign a 30-year non-relocation agreement. Our commitment to Arizona has never wavered.
We know that there's another step to this journey, and that's a referendum vote on May 16th of 2023. We are going to spend a lot of time just being out in this community. This truly is the first and only privately financed sports and entertainment district. Everything you've seen in those images that have been out there in the public, we're paying for all those buildings. We're buying that land.
I've been saying and preaching forever
Infrastructure.
that hockey works here. If we have a building and we do it the right way,
it not only works, it'll thrive and it'll be incredible, and it'll add to the community. And I think everything that Mr. Murillo and his family has stepped up to say that they'll do makes it so this is something that is so important and so good for the Valley and for all the cities in the state, not just Tempe, but for the entire state, and I'm excited about it.
Doesn't that sound just like Oakland and the A's? Like, if we find the right place, if we secure this, we know it's going to work. And by the way, going back to privately financed again, $230 million of infrastructure. I'm just saying that's part of the equation. Here is the quote that I want everybody to see. And in a second, I'm going to substitute some words and make you get all the feelings here. Gary Bettman told Bally Sports Arizona this: "I believe in our fans in Arizona. I believe in the market from a business standpoint. And once we get the right building in the right place, we won't ever need to have this discussion ever again." Let me give you my own quote here. Let me just re-quote Gary Bettman. "I believe in our fans in Oakland. I believe in the market from a business standpoint. And once we get the right building in the right place, we won't ever need to have this discussion again." I mean, honestly, it works for Arizona. In my opinion, that same quote also works in the city of Oakland. Transpose Oakland on there. Transpose the A's on this. It's literally the same thing. We know this is going to work. We've just got to get this building in this spot. And it absolutely will. And so there's a lot of parallels here. The one difference is how fast things have worked in Arizona. I mean, the team literally just got kicked out of Glendale last season. Now, the saga has been going on for several years, so it's no surprise, but it has not been going on with the Arizona Coyotes since 2005 in Cisco Field or San Jose or the Laney College site. This has been going on a lot longer for the Oakland A's, and I understand that's the frustration, but the parallels here of getting things approved, I go back to the biggest thing in all of this is last night when this got approved by the city council, how the NHL showed up. And that's been something over the course of this project. Like, it's been the A's and it's been Oakland. And I'm wondering at some point if Major League Baseball can step in, can offer some assistance, can offer some leverage, can offer some influence in this project, how they can sweeten this deal for the A's and for Oakland, just like the NHL has done. So just wanted to provide that insight. Again, I'm interested in this situation. I've been following it, relatively closely. And I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section below. What do you think about the Arizona Coyotes' new home and how it translates to the Oakland A's?